Hi, my name is Allie, for those of you who don't know me, and I am the maker behind Crochet in the Mud, where I do both crochet plushies as well as pottery. And today is going to be another weekly makes of everything I managed to get done this past week. So if you've been following along for a little bit, you know that I just started my summer job this week. So this week was very chaotic and I did not do much, and if you've noticed, I also did not post any videos this week aside from my last weekly makes. Now that was not the goal, I do apologize. I just got a little too hectic and I just wanted to let myself kind of take it slow after work, and I've also been enjoying my weekend, so I've gotten a little bit of work done, but I'm not like dedicating all day to working like was the original plan. Now I'm hoping as I go throughout the summer I can start to get into the groove of, when I get home from work, crocheting a little bit and then spending some time on the weekends, while also creating a nice balance so that I can take some time to relax, because I have been pushing myself quite a bit as I was trying to prep as much as possible for this summer, because I know I will not have much time, especially compared to what I'm used to. Now I did have my big 3-day market this past weekend for Memorial Day. I do have a vlog coming out for that. It's just a little delayed. It should be coming out next week, assuming I can edit it. I did look and I have, if Wednesday's video is already edited and scheduled. Fridays I haven't started yet, but it looks like I have 3.5 hours of footage. And then next Wednesday should be the market video, but once again I believe I have about 3 hours of footage. Now most of that footage is gonna become a time lapse, like I did record my setup process, but there's 2 videos back to back that's going to take quite a bit of time for me to edit, so I'll get it up when I can. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. But this past week on Monday I had my market, as I've been leading up to on all of these videos lately, and then on Tuesday I worked a shift at Eclectic, which is my store in Colorado Springs I sell in, and I joined a store in North Glen called Painted Tree. So that was the day I had planned on editing, but it kind of didn't work out with how long both of those stores worked. And then Wednesday I started my job, and I will adjust to it soon. I will say that I am a camp counselor. I won't say where. So yeah, it's a lot being outside when I haven't been used to it lately. A lot of walking and, you know, dealing with the kids. So most everything I did this week was at the market. So I did crochet a little bit yesterday. Today is Sunday, so on Saturday I crocheted a little, but haven't done any crocheting today. It is 1 p.m. But I don't think I'll get around to doing anything. I am planning to like meal prep for the week and also edit this video this afternoon, so no crocheting for me today. But there were quite a few plushies that sold out while I was there, so I was trying to quickly restock them while I could in between customers. I'll give a little bit of a spoiler. The weather was not on my side for this market, so it didn't go quite as I had hoped, but that is as much of a teaser as I'll give you. So the first item I made, I actually don't have any with me, but I made some axolotls. Of course, I was selling out of the 2 best selling colors I have, which is light pink and light blue. So I made 6 in total over the market. They were $18 each. I'm considering raising them to $21 just because they sell so quickly, and they're not my favorite thing to make. But as of now, they're still $18. But I made 4 pink and 2 light blue, and then the ones that I had left over I took on Tuesday to my store because they were sold out of axolotls. The other thing I worked on while I was at the market were possums. These ones I sell for $16, and I made a total of 8. So these, I did not go to the market very many. I think I had like 4, but they would sell out. I would make 1 or 2, it would sell out again, and I would just keep going in that cycle. But I think I had 2 left at the end of the market, and I took those to Eclectic as well. So I only have 1 guy left because I finished this yesterday on Saturday. I definitely need to prep a lot of these for Pride, so I have 2 weeks until Pride. So I have next weekend off, and then the following weekend is Pride. So that's like my last big market until we hit August. I have July off, so I can kind of catch up a little bit on market inventory, restock my stores, which definitely need it. The Painted Tree location I just joined has like all pottery. I ended up giving them 4 pocket octopus. I had packed more, but of course I did not bring enough tags, so I only had 4 tags. So that's why they only have 4 pocket octos. But I need to give them some plushies here soon. And then the last thing for the week that I was working on, mostly at the market, were jellies. So Henry was at the market Saturday by himself, and I think he went with 3, and they all 3 sold. So I packed yarn. I only have Perfect Chunky to make the pink ones. So especially on Sunday when I was there, I was like making 1 axolotl, 1 jellyfish, 1 possum, 1 axolotl, 1 jellyfish, 1 possum. When I put the first jelly out, it sold within 5 minutes. But I think that was the only restocked jelly that sold at the market. But I made 4 total. This one I finished up yesterday. It was half done at the market. That is all I managed to make this week, which is totally fine. It was nice to have a more relaxing week and not focusing on editing or trying to crank out more plushies. So hopefully I can, over these next 2 weeks, crochet a little bit more just so I can get ready for my next market. I did make a list of things I need for Pride. Like, I haven't yet made rainbow bees. I desperately need possums and chickens. The last time I did this market, I brought 5 chickens and 5 possums. This is a 2-day event, and both of those, so all 5 of each, sold out within the first hour. So I only have the 1 possum right now, and I think I have 5 chickens. So those are definitely on my list. I sold out of squids. If you see my previous weekly makes, I was making them in Pride colors. Well, now I'm out of squids, so I need more of those. I have it written down, but that's all I can think of for now that I for sure need to make more of. And then there's, of course, I think I have 3 axolotls left, and they are not the best-selling colors. So a lot I'd like to make, but I'm definitely, even if I had 2 weeks of full time to prep, I would not be able to make as much as I would ideally like to have. But we will get to the grand totals. So for this week, I made 18 items, which come out to $320 of new crochet inventory I made. So that's definitely higher than I thought I would have, and I think I'll make a goal for myself this coming week to make $500 of inventory. That might be a little high. We'll see how much crochet time I'm able to dedicate, but I was about to say, as you saw, I only used Brene Blanket, but I did not. I used some Parfait Chunky. So I'm definitely running low on my Parfait Chunky inventory. However, like I said, I don't have time to do much restocking, so I know I keep saying this, but after my next market, I will hopefully be able to dedicate some money towards buying more yarn from Premier. Clearly I'm not hurting for yarn, as you can see behind me, so I'm also trying to like push it a little bit because I have plenty of yarn to use for now, and I don't necessarily need Premier. However, they recently came out with, in their basics chenille line, which I still haven't tried, but it's on my list to try, they came out with a bunch of tie-dyes that are beautiful that I really want to try. So hopefully they're not sold out, because I have not looked since I got the email that they were released. So hopefully they're still in stock and I can buy some when I get around to it. But for market inventory, this is taking everything I had crochet wise, subtracting out everything that sold at my market, and subtracting out stuff because I restocked both of my stores. So it is not as high as I would like it to be. The past 2 years I've done this market, I have sold around $3,000 between the 2 days. I would like to raise that goal to $4,000 this year, so fingers crossed we can do it. But part of what stopped me last year was I essentially sold out. If I can find the photo, I will post it up here on the screen. But I only had a handful of plushies left, and then I had a lot of pottery left. So that's what I mean by I essentially sold out. But currently, I have $3,857 of crochet plushie inventory. If we can get to 4,500, I think that's a realistic goal, to get to 4,500 over the next 2 weeks as I'm going into my Pride market. That'll be my goal. And I also have a bunch of Pride mugs and cups that I recently did. Go watch my kiln unloading video and you can see them. I think they're towards the end of the video. You can see in the video while I'm unloading, I was a little disappointed because they didn't come out how I had envisioned. However, as I've gotten to look at them some more, I'm pretty satisfied with how they turned out. But I have a bunch of different Pride flags in the glaze. I'll try to put a picture of one up. But I went with the more popular flags that I typically sell. I was able to look at my past 2 years in terms of my sticker sales as to what's the more better selling flags. It would have been nice to be able to have everything, but there's just too many flags to be able to make. So I think I went with 6 different ones that I have represented. I'm not sure. But hopefully those will sell at Pride, and that can help my numbers to get me to a $4,000 sales goal for the 2 days. But I think that's everything I have for now. There's not really much of an update. This is probably the shortest weekly makes I have, but like I mentioned, I kind of took the week off for the most part. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for following along. Thank you for nobody getting mad at me, at least as far as I know, nobody commenting of where are your Wednesday and Friday video from last week. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!